So here we are at St Pancras Station. It's a beautiful station, so we're now, both of us are going, that's myself and Yukino, we are now having a trip to see the major sights of London. Including Buckingham Palace and also the House of Parliament, the London Eye, maybe the Tower of London, and lots of other places. Here are the crowds as we walk through St Pancras Station. We're now in the Underground and on the Victoria line. We're going down from the Victoria line down to Green Park, where we will get off Underground and join or go down to Buckingham Palace. There we are on the Underground, and we've arrived at Euston. Up the escalator and out of the Underground. So there is the Piccadilly up there, and then we go round and look southwards, of course, towards Buckingham Palace. And this is, of course, Green Park. So this is Buckingham Palace. Which is obviously a very, very well-known building. We're looking round to the north and to those gates there, ceremonial gates, and over there we can see a statue of Queen Victoria surmounted by a very impressive gold statue, and then round here to the south and again back to Buckingham Palace. A splendid view on the top of the memorial to Queen Victoria, and a very, very good view also from here of Buckingham Palace. Queen Victoria surveying her empire from just in front of Buckingham Palace. St James's Park is famous for pelicans. And they've been here for centuries, although not the same pelicans, and therefore they are indeed beautiful birds. And I imagine that the king, over there in the palace, enjoys the view. Everywhere you look in London, there are interesting places to see. I mean, this is just a little corner by Trafalgar Square. But it's a marvellous building, and anywhere else in England it would be considered a gem, and this is just a relatively unknown street, but not far from Trafalgar Square. So this is Nelson's Column, which is Trafalgar Square, right in the middle of the square, with the 4 lions to guard it, and this is one of the centres of London, of the many centres. They have the London buses, which are everywhere, including the London sightseeing buses, and there is Nelson. Trafalgar Square with the 4 great lions, and across there you've got the Church of St Martin in the Fields, which is, I think it's a theatrical church where considered by the actors as their kind of patron saint church. And then we're there, we have the National Gallery, which is lots of famous paintings, one of the great art galleries of the world. And then we look to the west there, it's Canada House. So this is the Downing Street where the Prime Minister lives, and in the past it was possible to walk all the way along Downing Street, but for the past few years it's been forbidden. But there's a photograph of Harold Wilson as a little boy standing on the steps of Downing Street, and later he became Prime Minister. In those days it was possible, not now. And that way we can see the rest of certainly the rest of Whitehall and Big Ben just visible, and then across there we can see the London Eye. So here is the Cenotaph, the war memorial in central London on Whitehall, and it's the site of every November the Remembrance Day service at the Cenotaph, when there's a big march past of all the soldiers, and wreaths are laid on there by all the members of the royal family and the politicians. Here is Big Ben, the famous clock, one of the most famous buildings, I suppose, in the world. This is the Houses of Parliament, and it's very, very packed with tourists here. Everybody wants to see Big Ben, and one of the most famous, iconic buildings, I suppose, in the world. And then if we look this way, we can look over the river. You can't see the river, it's just here. And we'll now from here go to the London Eye. The London Eye, standing resplendent on the River Thames, it's an ancient river, and London itself began, I suppose, about 2,000 years ago with the Roman invasion, I suppose, although it was presumably an important settlement long before then. The London Eye. Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. Right by the side of the River Thames, of course, and there is an enormous amount of building. I suppose there's building all the time in London, and lots of new developments over that way towards Battersea. The London Eye seen directly from below, and it goes round, I think it takes half an hour for one full circuit of that structure. Here is a merry-go-round or carousel, and very bright colours, very interesting. We're now inside the Royal Festival Hall, looking there towards the River Thames. This is the South Bank Centre, which I think includes the Royal Festival Hall and the Riverside Terrace Cafe, and it's all very trendy to my rather provincial eyes. We're now in the underground at Waterloo, and we're going to take the Jubilee line for well, anyway, a bit to the west because we want to east because we want to see Tower Bridge and also the Tower of London. This is coming out of London Bridge Station, and we hope to see fairly soon Tower Bridge, maybe walk over Tower Bridge and see the Tower of London. There is the Shard, the tallest building in Western Europe, and that is looking at Southwark Cathedral. Another wondrous scene in London, just by the Thames here, and this is in the borough of Southwark. HMS Belfast, which of course is a warship moored on the River Thames, no longer used of course. So there is Tower Bridge, which is a pretty well-known building in the world, and across there, can hardly be seen behind HMS Belfast, is the Tower of London. We'll see that a bit later. And over there is the buildings of the City of London. London, as is normal, is extremely busy, and not only with tourists from this country, but tourists, I suppose, from all over the world. And then to the left we have the famous outline of Tower Bridge, of course, and it's now about 3:30 in the afternoon, but it's certainly getting dark because we're really in the middle of winter. Having said that, the temperature is not really like winter. It's not cold, it's dull and grey mostly, but it's certainly not cold. We're now on Tower Bridge, and soon we'll go over the place where it sometimes raises up on special occasions. Over there is the City of London. In the far distance is the Post Office Tower. So there is the Shard in all its splendour across the river, gleaming with victory. Night has fallen, but it is still extremely crowded. We've just come out of Embankment Station, and we're trying to make our way up through the crowds towards, I suppose, Charing Cross Station and Trafalgar Square. We're now entering Leicester Square, and extremely busy. Centre of London, Dirtyland, of course. This is Shaftesbury Avenue, absolutely crammed, and down there is Piccadilly Circus. These are the literally bright lights of London, and this is Regent Street, Piccadilly Circus, and first came here with my mum and dad and Mary about 1960, and I was fascinated by it, and I still am in actual fact, because it's full of life and activity. These are the Christmas lights of Regent Street, which is a beautiful street, and it's obviously one of the finest streets in London itself. And we'll
turn right onto Eyre Street, then turn right onto Brewer Street.
I do love Regent Street. Continuing with the lights of Regent Street, crowds everywhere, extremely busy. It's about 5:30 in the evening.